Korea's domestic film industry has been enjoying steady growth over the past few years. The number of film ticket sales broke the 200 million mark last year, meaning each person watched about 4 films in theaters on average.
Unfortunately, the enjoyment is easier to find for some more than others in the nation. And to tell us more about this trend, we bring in our cultural correspondent Park Ji-won in the studio. So Ji-won, tell us more about this discrepancy.
Well, the disparity is pretty severe. For instance, Seoul residents watched about 6 films on average last year, while residents in rural areas watched just 2. Well, that's because many rural areas don't even have theaters. Well, in fact, out of the nation's 230 districts or counties, over 100 don't have theater, most of them rural areas. Well, it's not that they never had a theater in the past. Many ran out of business in the late 1990s when theaters began going the multiplex route. But many are hoping to make a comeback, and Hongcheon County is one of them. And I paid a visit earlier this week.
Hongcheon County in Gangwon-do Province lies some 100 kilometers east of Seoul, and until this week, residents would have to travel about an hour if they wanted to watch a movie in the theater. But the opening of a small digital film theater in Hongcheon this week has changed that.
I only watched probably 3 films a year. Now I hope to watch more films as the theater is very close to my home.
I had to watch films in Chuncheon or in Seoul because there weren't any cultural centers or theaters here.
Hongcheon Cinema is the nation's 4th small digital film theater to open in counties with a population of less than 100,000. The first was in Changsu in 2010, followed by others in Kimje and Imsi last year, all financed by their local governments. Based on the success, the nation's culture ministry is joining in. New initiatives are in place to support the opening of 80 more small theaters in rural areas nationwide by next year. The ultimate planning is to set up a small film theater in every district or county that does not currently have one.
So that's the regional gap. How is the nation's independent film sector at odds with the big megaplexes that distribute the films?
Well, that's pretty severe as well. Among some 200 films made each year in Korea, more than half of them can be categorized as independent films made without any investment. But half of those independent films don't even get a chance to be seen by theater audiences.
Audience numbers for independent films have been on the decline since 2009. At the same time, the market share of the top 10 films last year reached some 35%, much higher than in the US at 24% and France at 26%. This is because nearly 95% of the nation's 2,100 screens are operated by the 3 major multiplex chains, CGV, Lotte, and Megabox. All are conglomerates, and they mainly play films that they have produced or invested in. For this reason, it's becoming harder for independent film lovers to find the film that suit their tastes.
Since there are not many theaters that play independent films, it's hard to watch them, and I have to go far away. I wish more screens showed them.
There are many independent films I wasn't able to watch because the show times did not fit my schedule.
An independent film director who has received many international awards says he still has a hard time finding screens to play his films.
Multiplex chains do not offer their screens up unless it's a film produced or distributed by their own companies. Even if they do, they show them at very unpopular times, like once in the early morning or very late at night. It's unfair.
So he added policymakers and movie fans need to pay attention to low-budget art films or those independent films if they want diversity in the cinema.
All right, thank you very much, Ji-won, for that report.